and welcome back to, yet again, another reading vlog.
It's Brittany, bitch.
This time, we're also going to be doing romance, and I think 2021 is the year of romance for me. I mean, honestly, I am so proud of myself, but I've also actually been enjoying the genre. Now, these are not like overly steamy romances. I mean, I think if I was reading some of those, it might be a little bit different. I would be interested in those, so if you have any that are like extra steamy, X-rated, I would definitely like to try one of those. Oh, you can talk about everything but sex, huh, Kalinka? How rude! So anyway, we're gonna be reading 2 books. There could be another one, probably not, because it is nowhere near ready for me to pick up. So I'm gonna go with 2. So the first one is Take a Hint, Dani Brown, which is the second book in the Brown Sisters trilogy. The third book actually comes out March 9th, and I would love to have the arc for that. I did request on that galley. I don't know if I'm gonna get it, but I would love the third book because I think I'm obviously, even if I don't like, I'm not in love with these books, they're a great series. Take a Hint, Dani Brown follows the second sister, Danica. So I believe it goes in order of eldest, which was Chloe. She's the first book. The second is Danica, and the third book is Eve, which is the third book. So we're following Dani, and she is a professor at a university, and she's an English lit teacher, and she's in like the science building, and the security guard is her friend Zephyr, and they're just friends, and it's gonna turn into friends to lovers, and it hasn't gotten there yet. I'm about 77 pages in, and what happens is she basically gets stuck in an elevator in the middle of a gas drill, like, you know, an alarm goes off, like there's gas in the building, and she gets stuck in the elevator, and he literally comes in and like fireman rescues her, and like he like carries her out like she's like a princess. And then it starts this whole social media frenzy because he's actually a retired rugby player, and he's basically trying to run from his past because he's retired from rugby. And in the media, whenever his brother and his dad, I think they died in an accident or something, I'm not sure yet, but they did die. He was like seen as like wounded, and it was a tragedy, and he's just so over it, and he just has like a thing against media, it seems. That's as far as I've gotten into that. So I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out. I really hope I love it, but this is the first romance I will be reading. The second book is a FUD Love Story, and number 1, I love Vietnamese food. So naturally, when I saw this, I think I saw it on Twitter or something, I don't even remember, but I saw it and I was like, I have to read this. It is a young adult romance. I think a lot of people have described it as like a Romeo and Juliet, but with food and like warring restaurants. So their parents each own a restaurant, and they're at war with each other, and they're competing restaurants. And there's a lot of food and stuff in here, and that's just like one of my favorite tropes in books. I love when books talk about food. Like, I love it. I love those types of books. I like descriptions of food. It really just brings me into a book, especially like when it's about food. Like, I'm so excited. Their family are rivals, and I guess they fall in love. I'm not really sure what happens. I haven't read too much into it. That's all I really know. I was just really excited about this, and I was really surprised that I got this so quickly from the library because this like just came out, I believe. This was just published in 2021. I'm not sure when, but I swear it was like a few weeks ago maybe. I'm not sure. I'm gonna double check. I'll let you know on the screen when it released. But it's very new, and I'm just so excited for this. And I'm gonna be eating pho when I read this. I mean, not the entire time, but I will be going out for some pho for myself. That's honestly why I've been like so looking forward to this, is because I cannot wait to have that as an excuse to eat it and read the book at the same time. It's after work now for me, so I'm gonna continue reading this a little bit before we decide to go get dinner, because we've cooked all week and I'm starving, and I don't have any more meals planned, and I just want to go out, and I just want to eat something. And by go out, I mean I want to go pick up at a restaurant. I want to come back, I want to sit and watch The Housewives and eat. If you couldn't tell, we've been on a Housewives kicks. We've been going through all the different Housewives. Right now, we're back on Orange County. We took a break because we watched like 10, 11 seasons, and after like 10 seasons of a show, I just get kind of burnt out. So I needed a break, and now we're back on Orange County. So I love my faves. Good morning. I'm here to talk to you about this book. I'm 211 pages in, so I'm a little over the halfway mark, but I'm actually really enjoying it. Surprise. I'm really enjoying the topic of mental health because Zephyr he basically owns a foundation where he teaches kids rugby, and he teaches boys rugby, and then he They have like emotional talks on like toxic masculinity and how it's okay for boys to have feelings, for men to have feelings, and I think it's just a really important topic. And then on top of that, on page 187 here on this, he says, you'd never tell an athlete to just get over a sprain. You'd give them time to recover, physical therapy, whatever they needed. Why are mental health conditions any different? Exactly. And I think that's like a perfect point of this book. I think that's one of the things I really like about Talia Hibber's writing. I love the way she talks about topics. She's very well educated on them, and I really appreciate that. I mean, she's very gentle with her topics, and she discusses them in the ways that are like, it's just so good. Anyway, I hope you like my outfit today because I have a meeting. I don't know if it's gonna be a video meeting, but that's the problem with my job is I don't know if they're gonna be video meetings. Like 99% of the time, they're not gonna ever tell you if they're gonna be on video. You just like log into the meeting and they're on video or they're not. Like that's literally it. So I kind of try to look nice at all times. I only have one meeting today, so that's the good thing. The bad thing is I have a lot of work in general. But it's Friday, so I'm really happy about it. I'm hoping to finish this book today. I'm gonna try to read it at my lunch because I've actually been really enjoying it. I only started it yesterday and a night ago, and I barely read it at night. So it's basically been like a day of me reading this. So to me, that's really good. And I requested actor H.E. Brown on NetGalley, so I'm really hoping that they like approve that before it gets published on March 9th, because I'm totally reading it because I've really been into romance. I just don't know if it's because I'm picking the right books, which it could be, but it's really pushing me to look back on the romances I used to read, and I really want to find this romance by Meg Cabot. I swear it was by her. And it was like, I don't know if it's like a Highlander romance, but I remember like the main character and or the love interest had red hair, and I remember the sex scene was one of the best scenes I've ever read. And that's up to my adult life. Like I've never read a sex scene that is, I can still remember exactly some of the words that she used in that scene because it was so well written for me. And I want to find that book and I can't remember what it is, and it drives me nuts. And I hope it's Meg Cabot, and if you happen to know what this book is that I'm talking about, for the love of God, please tell me what it is. I'm gonna make some coffee, and I gotta put makeup on, and I gotta do my hair eventually. Of course, the one day I don't have a fucking video meeting, I look nice. Secondly, it's Friday night, and guess what? For dinner, I dropped the sauce. We're fine, everything's fine. That was genuine terror. Here is my favorite roll, called the Pink Lady. I'm obsessed with it. She's expensive. And then I also got a soft shell crab hand roll. It's a terrible angle. You can't even see shit. Anyway, that's dinner tonight for Friday. And I don't know what we're gonna watch on TV because we don't currently have Netflix. I don't know. We'll probably watch 90 Day Fiancé to switch it up because we're watching a lot of Housewives, so check back in later with my book. I've tried filming this clip like 3 different times, but every single time I talk for like 25 minutes and I'm not editing that. So I'm gonna rephrase what the fuck I've been talking about, okay? Number one, since I'm in my car and it's turned on, I'm gonna make this really quick. So that's exactly why I want to do this really fast. I'm almost done with Take a Hint to Annie Brown, okay? I'm 297 pages in. I'm almost done with it. I'm gonna finish it today. I'm gonna finish it while I'm out today. I'm gonna go sit somewhere and read, have some coffee. I don't really know. I'll give you some more thoughts when I finish it, but so far it's good. I just think the sex scenes are a little bit long for my personal tastes. I really don't want 5 chapters back to back of sex. You know what I mean? I do love a good sex scene, but I just wish they were a little bit shorter, like a page or 2 interjected into I don't care if they're every chapter, but I would like them a little bit shorter. It's a little bit much to read, especially when you're on the toilet. It's not really something you want to read. So anyway, it's getting really hot in here, so it's only like 60 degrees outside today, which is great, but it just feels so much hotter because it's obviously been like fucking 30 degrees and below for so long. So I'm gonna make my way to get coffee or something and Trader Joe's. We're going out for the first time in literally forever, and so I get to get just dressed up a little bit because now we can dine into the restaurants, and we had to make a reservation. I am literally so excited. I just feel like this outfit is just so cute. I've been able to wear my boots in absolutely forever, and I finally get to wear this because it's probably like not too cold, not too hot. It's like 50 degrees, and I love this little shawl I got for Christmas. It's like a shawl, I don't know what it's called, just shawl, poncho, I don't know, honey, but I love it. Okay, it's gonna take us like literally 30 minutes to get there, so I have to go. Bye! I'm updating you a little later than I would prefer, but I I finished Take a Hint Danny Brown. And I didn't realize the blues match. I'm just that good. Anyway, I'm not really sure I'm going to rate this book yet. I really enjoyed it. I think I liked it definitely a little bit better than Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I just identified a little bit more with the story and definitely liked the characters a bit more, and I actually felt their chemistry, which for me is just super important because I just did not feel that with the last book at all. I really want to read their third book, and I really hope I get approved for it on NetGalley. I'm really hoping for that. So we're gonna see. But I feel like this is at least a 4-star. I'm not sure if I'll give it like a 4.25. I'm not quite sure. I also really don't like how many sex scenes were in this book. It's not that the sex scenes in this one for me were like bad, because I feel like the last book, the sex scenes just had a lot of dirty talk coming from the characters, which I did not expect from those characters. I would expect it more from these characters, and that would be okay. It's just the fact that like I feel like for a few chapters straight, it was just like sex after sex. And I really just wish there was more like plot points with the characters that were not sex related. Like I do understand it was a friends with benefits situation, but some of the sex scenes that came out were just really, I just feel like they went on for like a little bit too long in my personal opinion. I would have rather had like more sprinkled throughout and have them sprinkled in for a less amount of time, if that makes sense. Because I feel like just a whole chapter and then chapter after chapter of like a few lines and then mostly sex is frustrating. I'm having a hard time summing up my feelings about this, and it's almost like I kind of like don't care anymore, and that sounds really weird. But it has been a couple days since I last talked to you, but I've just kind of hopped on to the next book because I have a reading schedule going on. But I don't know. I think it's a good testament that I want to read the third one so badly because I just want to see what else is in store for these characters. I think I just wanted like more. Like I almost didn't care about the romance as much either here. Like I did care about the romance, but I really wanted more from these characters because I really liked them as characters. I kind of just wanted more, and I think that's why this isn't a perfect 5-star for me, is it just did not hit some of those points. I just wanted more. I really enjoyed all the mental health discussions in this book, and I really enjoyed all the representation. I feel like it was very well done. I think that was also one of my favorite parts was I love her books for her writing and her representation. I feel like everyone gets very seen in these books, and I feel like throughout all of her series, you'll eventually be able to find yourself as a character, and then you won't be able to usually do that in so many other people's series, you know what I mean? And she always approaches topics with a lot of respect and a lot of education, and I can tell that a lot of research and knowledge has gone into it. So I do appreciate that, especially because I suffer with anxiety, and I feel like the way that this was represented in this book was really great. Pray for me. I'm gonna check my NetGalley soon and let you know about actor Eve Brown, because if I did, I'm gonna add it into this reading vlog. We're gonna extend it because I want to read it so bad, which really says a lot of good things about the series, but as a whole. So this may sound a little negative at some parts, but honestly, I do love it. I think that everyone should read it. I feel like it's just so inclusive and representative, and it's like just a lovely romance. They're lovely romance novels. I would say they're traditional contemporary romances, and I really like them. And next up, I'm gonna be reading A FUD Love Story, and I'm gonna have pho this week on purpose because I wanna eat it while I'm reading the book. So my tummy is very happy for that too. I just found out that I got rejected for actor Eve Brown, and I'm just like so upset. I know that my NetGalley store is only like, I don't even know. I'm just like so upset. It gets published in like 8 days. I'm like, I only have a feedback ratio technically of 67%, but I was really hoping like I would just get lucky or something, but I really want to get that also because my library does not even have it listed yet, so I can't even like request it from my library. Don't know when that's gonna be available, so I'm so sad. I really thought that 67% was gonna get me an ARC. Hello, good afternoon. I've started reading A FUD Love Story, and it is very slow. I hate to bring it up, it is way slower than I anticipated, especially for such like a light, fluffy contemporary. This is so slow, like the pacing is slow. I'm on page 58. I've only just barely started it, but already it is just such a slow pace for what I feel like we're reading. I feel like it should be going much faster. And I feel like both of our two main characters, their viewpoints are very similar. I'm having a hard time a little bit discerning unless I figured out, you know, obviously one of them is male, one of them is female. I already am not liking the trope I'm seeing of one of the restaurants not doing as well. It's just a hunch so far. It was like a comment that one of them heard, and I'm not going to say who it was, but it's really bothering me a little bit because I really hate that trope because so many places have closed down because of COVID especially, but I hate watching like small businesses close and the fear of one of them closing. Even if I hate the place, like I've never even liked going there and the food was awful, it hurts my soul to watch someone's life like die. It's just so sad to me. So I don't know if it's gonna get worse this novel. It could have just been a comment that was misinterpreted by the main characters, because that's what we obviously are seeing this life through is through their lens. But I'm concerned. I'm concerned. Also, I really don't like that there's no hate between the characters. The families don't like each other. Love that. The families are rivals. They really don't like each other, and they tell their kids to like hate each other, but the kids never have like disliked each other. It's more of like a forbidden romance sort of thing where the kids are just not supposed to like each other, and so they just don't speak or talk or hang out or anything really because their families hate each other so much. But I really kind of wish the kids hate each other. I feel like it'd be more fun to watch them hate each other and then realize like, oh wow, you're actually like, you know, not a piece of shit. That's what I'm getting at it so far. I'm kind of sad that it's so slow. I really prefer faster paced books. Even if it's not like a thriller or something, I just prefer faster paced books. I like shorter chapters. The chapters are pretty normal size. I think especially, I just came off of a book that had very short chapters, like really short, like 3-4 pages, and it was really fast paced. So I'm feeling like it's extra slow, but I looked online because I thought I was going crazy, and other people who have finished the book also said the same thing, that it was really slow paced for them. And I am just finding that a little hard to get through at the moment. That's definitely just a me preference, and I think a lot of people do enjoy slower paced novels. But the problem is that this is like 400 something pages, and I really would like to get through this, honestly, by like today or tomorrow. I think tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm planning on having pho for dinner, because there's a lot of food in this book. There's a lot of amazing food. There's food I've never even heard of, and I have to go eat it because it just sounds so good. But I do wish we got more of the restaurant here. I wish like we got more of like the running of the restaurant. It was like a couple pages and then it was it, but I really want more of what it's like to run the restaurant. And I think it's just because I'm obsessed with food and I love Vietnamese food, and that's all I can think about now. So I got my brother to agree to go to Vietnamese food tomorrow night for dinner. So I'm probably going to update you right when I'm eating my pho tomorrow night. So hopefully I'll get some good reading in between now and then. I'm not promising anything. So on my lunch, I decided to go to a boba place. I was going to get takoyaki. They don't apparently have it. They said they used to have it and like no one ordered it. And she said now that they got rid of it off the menu, everyone freaking wants it. And I hope they bring it back. So I got myself a mango green tea, and I got rainbow poppers. I don't know, I've never tried those before. It's just like a bunch of, oh shit, different flavors. Oh god, I went everywhere. Usually when I put it in there, it does not juice out that much. Anyway, so I'm really sad about the takoyaki because it's my lunch. I wanted something to kind of eat, which is sad. And now I have to go home like immediately because I have to get home in 10 minutes, and the directions say I'll be home in 11 minutes because it's kind of not close to my house. So this was a fun excursion for the day. And I also got my brother one, which is one of his favorites. We never tried this one place though, so I hope it's good. The one I'm drinking is good, but just exploded everywhere. Oh, I hate when things explode in my car. But today it seems like the Asian food day because we're going out to pho later this evening, and I'm very excited. As an update, my nail broke. I really don't know how this happened, but now I have to go get it fixed, and I'm annoyed. I guess they are pretty grown out, honestly, but I didn't get them done that like long ago, and I feel like whenever he did them, he just did not go back enough to the cuticle, because after like 2 days, it already was like far back, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Either way, I'm annoyed. Why? Anyway, I thought I'd give you an update on a FUD Love Story, and also the sticker fell off, so I hope my library's okay with that because I cannot get it to stick back on. Sorry. I'm on page 210. I've been bored since like page 30, and I'm just really struggling with this, and I don't want to DNF it because it's a brand new book, and like I want to review it, but at the same time, like I am so bored. The pacing is so slow. I'm not really like learning anything. I'm not even enjoying the process. Both Lynn and Bao both have like the same exact like chapters. Like they have the same voice. It really should have just been a one-person narrative. It really does not make any sense for it to be a two-person narrative at this point. It's just such a shame because this is like the cutest freaking cover, and I really was expecting a love story, but there is like literally zero romance in this. There's zero romance, there's zero chemistry. They seem like cool friends maybe, but like there is no romance. I really can't get into either one of their heads either. I'm just upset. I'm just so disappointed because I really was expecting like a really good young adult romance contemporary, and it does not have any of that for me. I'm just so disappointed because I absolutely love the representation. I've never read a story about two Vietnamese main characters. I mean, that's huge, and I think that's amazing. I just really want something else from the story. There's nothing else there. I love all the food references. I love looking them up. If I don't, I've never heard of them, and they look amazing. But the actual story isn't there. The plot isn't there. I heard there's like kind of a reveal about the families at the end and the reason why they're like rivals or something, but I really don't have any intention of like wanting to read this novel. I mean, I think I'm gonna try to finish it, but it will honestly be a lot easier if I just DNF this right now, because I am over the 50% mark, which is what I tend to require of myself to DNF a book, because then I know I've at least read half of it and I don't like that half. But I feel like at this point I'm just gonna kind of skim it if I finish it, so I'm not promising anything. This is feeling like a 2-star for me at this point. So this book really did not hit for me like at all. It was definitely a 2 stars. I just don't think it was the worst thing ever written, but I really just don't think it's for me. It really should have just used one narrative, because I got so freaking annoyed that every single time there was the end of a chapter, the start of the new chapter and the other perspective would summarize what happened at the end of the chapter for the other person. It just was like not needed. And that's what I mean. It needed one narrative. We did not need 2. So it just drove me absolutely nuts. I'm not gonna lie. And the family secret at the end to me wasn't really that big of like a reveal. I don't know. There wasn't any stakes in this book. I didn't even really enjoy like along for the ride. So this was definitely a big dub for me. And I feel really bad since this is a debut novel, but other people seem to like it. Cool. Not for me. Definitely a little bit of a discouragement for me to pick up another young adult contemporary romance. I'm not gonna lie. Like, now this is young adult, but the writing was just so juvenile for me, and I'm just a little scared that other ones are like that. I don't know, I haven't read one in a really long time, so I really took a chance on this one, and I'm pretty upset about it, to be honest. I'm actually really sad, so I'm sorry I couldn't give it a better review. I'm just gonna apologize to this wonderful author who seems like a beautiful person. I am so sorry I did like your book. I'm sorry. Thank you for being here on this lovely reading journey where you got to see me read Take a Hint, Danny Brown, get rejected for actor Eve Brown, which still hurts in my soul, and not like a FUD Love Story. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and join the tribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!